like usually we start as, I don't know, we're on a bench or we're stood up or something, but we never start with a, I don't know, where are they? And they just kind of walk, I don't know. You say no, but if you have like the camera down and then you pick it up.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe we do that for the intro. We just do a question here. But that could be the intro, to be honest.
What?
I was trying to work out what the intro is.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it even matter, Dan? We're going to lose daylight. I was doing this intro. Come on.
Will you put the camera down then and we can start, can't we? Listen, it's not that difficult, mate. I don't want to do the intro, though. Hello, welcome to the Claret Loop. I don't like...
You want to do it more natural?
Yeah, I've done it so many times now. I'm Dan Rolinson, this is John Townley. I want to be... Let's just get into it quicker.
Grab the thing for a walk and talk, then.
What, and do the questions on the fly?
Yeah, we'll do the first one as a walk.
Tell you what, it'll stop us arguing as well, won't it?
Yeah.
So, John, the first question is about Lamar Bogarde. Can you hold the camera so I can ask the question? Thank you. Anthony says, so we've been pretty sure, we didn't really argue, did we, by the way? That was all, all a bit of fun. So we've been pretty short in centre mid. Up pops Bogarde. We also see other managers bemoaning injuries, but not really Unai. Now, yes, I know he would want everybody fit and firing. However, deep down, do you think he enjoys the challenges that come with dealing with injuries? I think he probably does, you know. I think he probably likes the idea of... We spoke before, I mean, he doesn't want an injured squad, right? But the idea of we're up against it a bit and let's all stick together, that does feel a bit Emery to me.
It certainly adds to his character and Villa's kind of, I guess, mentality of no excuses.
Yeah.
No limit to our dreams apart from the financial ones. But what I would say is that Villa do have a deep squad, and we have spent a fair bit of money before this summer, and when you're in Europe you obviously can have access to a bigger squad, a deeper squad. That's why it's Villa's goal every season, because you can't just kid players and say that you're going to give them game time when it's not feasible, right?
Yeah, you've got to have those extra games to give them in the first place, and then to be able to build that squad.
If you look at Villa's midfield options, you've got Anana Tielemans, you've got Barkley, you've got John McGinn who can play there, Kamara, Bogarde. Have I missed one?
Probably, but no, I don't think so.
No, but it's interesting because Tielemans, and this isn't a question that's being asked right now, so apologies. But
why are you answering it then?
But you know, considering he's had a bit of a setback with his injury, no one's threatening too much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's interesting though, because player of the season last year, he's such a good player, Tielemans, and that now we're kind of pushing Bogarde into that's all right because we've got Bogarde.
Yeah.
I think, and I've said this before, we have to be really careful about what we expect from him. He's had a couple of fantastic games, Fulham and Burnley, both at Villa Park. Of course, he's done his bit before that, right? He's been out on loan and he's had time in and around the first team squad, and he's earning his stripes. I think it's the key thing.
Coming of age, you said.
Coming of age, well, I think it's now come of age, yeah. But at the same time, still young, still inexperienced, but he's ready to play a part. Yeah, whether that's a key part this season, I think that's putting too much pressure on him. Hopefully. And, you know, he is outstanding against Spurs, Liverpool, City, Go Ahead Eagles, whoever else we've got coming after that. But I just think the expectation, let's let him settle in the team, basically.
Yeah.
But about the injuries?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? Injuries are a part of football, and every manager will know that, and you deal with it in the best way you can. But he's not going to actively want injuries to be like, oh, look at me, I can deal with this. But you know, it is a kind of I don't know, something up Emery's sleeve that he's able to adapt in those situations, and is willing to throw players into maybe different positions and just have that feeling of kind of togetherness that, like, okay, look, we know we've lost X, we know we've lost Y, but we're going to kind of come back by sticking together and working hard.
Exactly, yeah. And
it does feel like his principles.
I think, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, because I think a lot of it is tactically. When you look at what Villa are as a team, we very rarely deviate out of possession. I know when he first came in, we played a 5 at the back and didn't win. Sometimes it was even more. It might look more like a 7 at points. But usually we are defending in that 4-4-2. Everyone out of possession should know their role. Whether you're playing or not, you can come on as a sub and you should be adept at it, right?
Yeah.
So then when players do come in, but when players do come in, it's not kind of, it shouldn't be anyway a shock to their system. Yeah. So for that reason, among a few others, I don't think Villa losing players to injury, apart from, I don't know, Ollie Watkins, maybe a couple others. I don't think it's a major issue. I think the team, especially for Villa, it's, you know, the summer's great. Let me tell it again. The what is the? I genuinely don't know. This might be one of the most chaotic videos we've ever made, I think. The whole is great. Yeah. With this Villa team, I just feel like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Did you Google that?
No. You can't do me like that.
I can.
Right, are we done?
I can.
Yeah.
Right, we've done the walk and talk gimmick. Shall we set the camera down and have a bit more chat?
Yeah, let's find somewhere.
Oh, there's a lovely bit of greenery over there, John. From Jeff in Oregon. Oregon?
Oregon, yeah.
I'm an old retired guy who has time to watch every episode. Thank you, Jeff. I enjoy all of the regulars as well as the occasional guests, friends and foes. A couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about each of you as individuals beyond the podcast. I think it'd be really cool to have an episode where we get to meet and hear from your wags.
Wags?
Can you still use wags in 2025?
Yeah, I don't know. Does that stand for something?
Wives and girlfriends. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Wow. And you call yourself a football journalist?
No, I didn't.
Like David Beckham's...
No, I know the term. I didn't know actually.
Yeah, wives and girlfriends. I don't believe you didn't know that.
Why is it plural?
Because it's like the collective of them. So like the England players...
David Beckham's wags and girlfriends.
No, but like the England squad's wags. The England squad's wives and girlfriends as a collective.
Right, but you would say...
Victoria Beckham is a wag.
You would say back then.
Singular.
Yeah.
Jeff says I'm...
Anyway, no.
No,
No is the answer.
Jeff says I'm curious what it's like to live with someone who is a working Villa fan for a living. Bring us home to meet the family. No, absolutely not.
Day in the life.
Can you imagine how catastrophic that would be for your girlfriend, my wife and Matt's wife to have a conversation as a three about us? Bloody hell, we'd never work again, would we?
Yeah, mine would have a lot of complaints.
So would mine. Probably, what are you doing standing in a field at this time in the afternoon?
The only thing that she probably likes about it is that I don't watch Villa games with her.
What do you reckon they'd say about
Say?
you? John works too hard and he's such a great guy.
Yeah, no. Great guy, yeah. Who said that? Yeah, it would be, doesn't spend enough time.
Say he's a good guy.
Doesn't spend enough time. Works too late, that sort of thing.
Doesn't take many days off.
But luckily my partner, I say luckily.
She's as bad.
No, she likes her football as well, so it's it's okay.
My wife doesn't hate it, but she wouldn't watch a game of football. My dad actually didn't come to a game recently. I said, you could come with me if you want. Not interested at all. Not interested in the slightest.
Fair enough.
Which fine. Like it doesn't like.
So what happens when Villa's on and you make a bit of a racket and then she's like, oh.
She'll just be on her phone probably, going, what an idiot. I remember she was laughing at my reaction for the Lille penalties.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because I was watching that at home and I was like, I'm not like, because people have asked us to like watch-alongs and stuff like that in the past, which I'm not doing. It's not my cup of tea at all.
I wouldn't mind doing that, but there'd be no entertainment.
No, but people judge you for the way you react and stuff, and I'm not getting into that.
Okay.
We didn't even celebrate properly.
But as a Villa fan, I'm often quite... Well, it depends on the situation, and I'm not hiding anything. So, when Andre Green scored to make it 3-3 against Sheffield United, I didn't really celebrate that.
You've told us about this before, haven't you?
Have I?
I think so.
But that's the one time where I look back and think, like... I think everyone went like mental and berserk at that, but I didn't.
Why?
Because to me, that was a game, like I had it in my head of, we have to win this. And there's no kind of, don't get me wrong, great not to lose, but we had to get promoted. I say we had to get promoted. That was the goal, right, that season. Else we lose Grealish, we lose maybe even McGinn, I don't know. And it felt like everything was on that. If I remember rightly, a couple of games before that, we hadn't played well or whatever it may be. I can't quite remember, but we weren't in a great way. And it just felt like us during that match meant very little for us. In that moment, I was like, well, we just need to win at the moment.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
You know, like, don't worry, if we won the game, I'd be off the...
Do you feel like now that you should have lived in the moment and celebrated it?
Possibly, but I don't, my feelings are my feelings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's...
this is what I mean about watch-alongs and stuff. If I don't celebrate enough, well, you're not a proper fan
that's
then.
why like when Green scored that goal, I think most people go mental. Honestly, I was in the corner going, like, mental. I was going mental, but I was thinking, like, wow, that's like brilliant, we've scored. But I don't know if that's us to equalise against, pick a random team. All right, Ipswich last season, random match. And we've equalised, or Bournemouth away when Bailey scored a couple of seasons ago. I celebrated that more than the green one.
So yeah,
do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because I think the context around it is different.
That's kind of where I'm going at.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm saying this for, but it was more like you said, talking about reactions. Everyone does react differently.
Yeah, and people will be judged or whatever for not reacting enough or overreacting or whatever. It, yeah. So I don't want to open up that kind of.
And then when you do go like, you have a near-death experience celebrating a goal or something, and then people will say, "Oh, it's overdone that."
Yeah, it's just fake, wasn't it? It's just for clicks, blah, blah.
Yeah, because you're on camera.
Yeah. So whereas I think if someone filmed me undercover and I didn't know it was happening, that'd be different. Yeah. But to sit down and be like, "Oh, well, we're going to watch the game together," and react.
It's that thing
like,
of
I don't know.
People probably think that you know, because you're on camera and you need to make a bit of a fuss and whatever.
Or go the other way and you kind of go in your shell a little bit maybe. But I remember for that little game, just to kind of wrap this up and go to the next question. She filmed me reacting to the penalties, like sending our family group chat or whatever. Basically, like with the non-football understanding of why are you reacting like this for? It's just a game. Like that kind of vibe. You don't get it.
It's funny because I've never felt. I say never, not yet anyway. Have I felt maybe more than once or twice anything like when you score a goal or when you win that penalty shootout? In my life, I've never felt like that.
West Brom penalty shootout is the other one.
It felt. You know what? That one. It's nice to reminisce about these things. That one, that was more like I was obviously ecstatic, but at the same time, it was pure. That was we were made to suffer there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was pure suffering.
Yeah.
Lille felt similar,
but
the West Brom one felt. I didn't enjoy any of it.
No.
I was just glad to see that it was done.
Yeah. 100%.
And you know what? I was actually more happy the day after when Leeds lost Derby.
Was that the following day?
I felt more as a feeling of happiness.
Yeah.
That was the next day. Because I couldn't stop smiling because I was like, oh my God, I think we're going to do this.
Yeah.
But the West Brom one was more just, I was slumped sweating because it was just like, that was more relief, I think, than anything.
Yeah.
So it's weird how but again, those emotions, I don't feel, everyone can have a bad like wobbles or whatever, but in terms of happiness and like that feeling of just being ecstatic, I don't feel that in day to day. So
no, it's football.
People don't watch football and don't understand it, like they're missing out.
Absolutely.
That's why football's also the best sport in the world.
So to answer the question, no wags not on the pod.
No wags. But we did celebrate when Bailey scored against Bournemouth. I don't know.
I just checked the last file, John, and I look like the Michelin man in this coat, so when we go and sit down, I'm going to take it off because I look ridiculous. From Dyson. For context, we've lost as many games as Liverpool and Man City with those two to come. What a difference 11 days makes.
Playing Liverpool and Man City next, I don't know if that is positive, but...
I feel like the argument that we might play better against the good teams.
No, I think that's a conversation we can go with this. Firstly, I mean, it is a good point, perspective. We are so early in the season still.
Turns out we've had a good start.
And we keep saying, it's hard to forget that we struggled to create a chance or score a goal and whatnot in the first few games, but we haven't lost ground on anyone, really. Yeah. We could lose ground against Spurs, don't get me wrong, but also it just feels like a bit of an opportunity. Like maybe we need this sort of pressure. I don't know if pressure's the right word, actually, more we need this occasion.
Opportunity, I think.
Yeah, I guess it is, but we go to Tottenham, and although it's not a make or break to define the season kind of game, but it is this is relatively different to what we've had. We haven't played with all respect to the sides that we played, a top team yet, and I'm not saying Spurs are going to win the league this season, but a side who I think quite a lot of people
Newcastle
would put money on getting the Champions League. Newcastle, yeah, possibly, but at the start of the season, first home game. I don't know, it's got a different sort of feeling about it, but this feels like it's not, but a mid-season tough football match. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
This is proper stuff now.
Yeah, it feels like that. We've had 2 international breaks. This is. After this, I don't want to say start the season anymore. No. This isn't the start anymore. This is going into mid-season. Yeah. Is how I view it. But at the same time, Liverpool as well, City, the teams that I don't fear, because I say I don't fear them because if we lose against Liverpool away, okay. Well, they'll probably beat almost everybody at home, won't they? Or most teams. So for that reason, it's okay. We can. It feels like a bit of a free hit for us, and they're hardly, in amazing form themselves. Obviously,
with 3 in a row they've lost.
Yeah, they've got games to play before. Obviously, we go to Anfield, as do we. But yeah.
Luke says 4th preview podcast skipped. 4th victory. When do I start to take a salary from the club? So our viewers are down by 1 at least every week. But for winning games, I mean, Luke, keep doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
Missing some great episodes.
We can do with that one win, and we changed the preview as well.
Yeah, missing out. Yeah.
Well, we don't do a preview anymore, do we?
No, the fan zone. It's coming Thursday evening if you want to tune into that one.
Thursday evenings when Villa don't play in Europe.
Yeah.
Fridays when we do.
Yes, yeah. Yanoslav says, if we could play the first 5 games of the season again now, how many more points would we be getting? It feels as though our transfer window led to us starting the season as a pre-season, and it's only starting to click now, which I think probably is accurate. So what were the first 5? Newcastle, Brentford, Palace, Everton away.
Everton and Sunderland?
Sunderland away. I think you... I was about to say you definitely beat Newcastle, but I don't think that's the case.
No.
Draw there's fine. I think you beat Brentford.
Yep.
So that's +3. I think you lose to Palace.
Because it's Palace.
I think you beat Sunderland.
Yeah, it's difficult because the game state was we played 10 men. If we're going off that, then
if that unfolds all the same way, but Villa are better, I think we beat Sunderland.
Yeah.
So that's +2.
And then Everton, I don't think your points bad.
No, I don't. I think at least 5 points better off.
But then you look at it at the start of the season, you'd be saying, well, you can beat Newcastle, you can beat Brentford, you can get something against Palace, beat Everton, beat some. But then, kind of, I don't know, perceptions of your team change with results, so it's difficult. After we play Tottenham, only then will we have an idea of, what can we do against City? Like, is that a game that we can now win? Like, I don't know. That would depend for me on what we do against Spurs. We need to show something, but. Yeah, I think the general point there is that it hasn't been as terrible as what we thought.
Yes.
But equally,
I think
it could have been better. Or should have been a lot better, actually.
I think the point now is that we're starting to see signs that we feel like we're a team that should have won those games.
Which is good.
And that would, if I say 5 more points, that puts us onto 4th place. Calvin from New York says, what are your thoughts on Steven Gerrard's comments about his time at Villa on the Rio Ferdinand podcast? I've got his quotes, I'm going to read them very quickly. The Villa thing was really tough at the end because for the first 6 months at Villa, I felt we had control of it and we had Villa where maybe we should have had them. I think the stats, if you like, were saying that we had them in the top 9 teams in the league from taking them at 17th. So we were really in a good place. But I lost control of it quickly and it deteriorated quickly and I fought hard to get it back. That was tough and frustrating. Look, this is the difference from being a player to a manager. It's a completely different role. You're managing a dressing room and you're managing characters and personalities.
That's his job.
Yeah, that's your job, Stephen. That's what you're there for, mate.
I think you can just quite simply boil this down to he lost his right-hand man.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And it went badly wrong. It wasn't going great before that, if we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
There was clearly signs that, all right, next season we've got a big job. We need to see much more. And yeah, I think it was from the turn of the year, it really wasn't great at all. We only won a handful, if that, because he was so inexperienced as well, Gerrard, really, especially in handling a dressing room, like he says. His comments, yeah, fair enough.
He's going to defend himself.
I don't dislike. I know a lot of Villa fans will. Hate's a strong word. They will dislike Gerrard.
Yeah.
I'm really no way with it. Like, it was a bad appointment. We hold our hands up. Well, I don't. The club
thanks for
Perslow should hold his hands up. And really, yeah, terrible decision in hindsight.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are paid big bucks to make those decisions. We made the wrong one.
I don't really.
But even more so, knowing that his staff were or had aspirations to go alone. I mean, that was big trouble. And to be honest, it's something we knew from the start. It was. Well, Beale's the operator here. He oversees the thing, and we knew that he had his aspirations. So it felt like, again, was going to go one or two ways. It was either after 4 years he joins Liverpool, as everyone was making out, or it was this could unravel, and it unravelled. I mean, Kutch didn't have his passport, did he?
I know.
For the pre-season, how much is that?
I was reading about that recently. It's shambolic.
No, it's not good.
I don't really have that much animosity towards Gerrard backing himself in an interview. Like, he's bound to stick up for himself. Like, I don't see that as sour grapes.
He wouldn't get to where he is without doing that.
No, but of him blaming that it was Villa that were the problem and I just lost control of it and it wasn't my fault. Whatever.
Yeah, but the way
I feel like we've moved on anyway.
I can't tell if he's trying to blame other people or whatever it is, but him saying I couldn't control the dressing room and the personalities, that's on you though.
Well, yeah.
Because these aren't robots. When you're managing a dressing room, management has to be. You have to be incredibly strong as a leader, but as a leader of a dressing room, it's completely different to being a player. And he obviously found that out. I don't know if in 20 years he'll be a manager that is successful in the Premier League. We don't know. Like I don't like to kind of discourage people or kind of put them down and make an assumption that you can't do it because you didn't do it in your first try, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot not to be deep, but just like in life. Like, we can't just base his whole future off 1 year at Villa. And we know it's a massive club, huge expectation. When it starts to go wrong, the odds are that it will unravel, like I say. So for that reason, yeah, I think as soon as Bill showed interest of leaving, should we say, there was
the beginning of the end.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're not quite at the end yet, John. We're about halfway through in the questions. This one's from Swampy. I know we've recently had Storm Amy, but did anyone see Hurricane Marlon coming? Do you think we'll see this partnership of Marlon and Watkins going forward? It was like a throwback to classic football and one I am all for. Me too. I like it. It seems like a nice system, and we spoke about it probably last week or after the Burnley game, that this is not revolutionary, playing Marlon off the striker in the Diaby role that we qualified in the Champions League.
Yeah.
We've seen this at Villa before. We're kind of just doing it again, which I'm glad about because it worked before, so I'm hoping it works again. Since last week, I mean, obviously you and I did a Q&A last week, we kind of felt, we're just going to be kind of saying the same things. Ollie Watkins has pulled out of the England squad now. Obviously England play again tonight as this episode comes out. You would presume that's just the knock that he got, the whack that he had off the post, and this should be okay for Tottenham, I hope.
We'll see.
But if he is, then you play him and Marlon again together, I think. If he isn't, Marlon then has to step forward literally and be the number 9, which I don't think suits him as much. I think having those two play off each other is better for Marlon. I think it's better for Watkins as well. But he scored for the Netherlands as well, so and a nice finish as well, by the way, which a lot of his goals are. So if he's full of confidence and Watkins is available, you would back them to work well in any game, really. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I think they can cause problems for a Tottenham, even a Liverpool or City, whoever it may be. Watkins' runs and his movement, I can't say it enough. It's something that you really have to pay notice to, and it allows other players to be free on the pitch, and it will help Marlon a lot. Yeah, whether he plays against Spurs or not, I'm not saying we'll find out on Friday, but Emery will obviously.
What Emery will say is he'll train on Saturday and then we'll make a decision.
And if he does train on Saturday, that's a good thing. So, we'll wait and see. I said it before, it's the one area of the team that we don't have depth in. Although, I'm not going to lie, at the start of the season I did say, though, because of our financial situation, if it meant not signing another striker and looking at another position that we needed to add depth to, I was okay with that. But in a free agent in Lindelof, who I don't actually think he's played at centre-back yet, he's played in midfield and right back, I think, a lot. We needed that centre-back, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm happy to be proven wrong on that if later in the season or even in the coming weeks we are struggling. But Watkins has always been durable, even when he hasn't been fully fit. He has played and not played to his best ability. But as I say, he can still do things off the ball. He doesn't have to be.
You'd assume that was just a bit of bruising or something, wouldn't you, what he had?
Well, yeah. As of right now, where are we? Literally Monday, a couple of hours after he has withdrawn. Won't speculate on how long that's going to be, but hopefully okay for the weekend, and he's pulled out as a precaution. And Villa have pushed England into doing it.
Of the natural disaster options, what do you think is the best to describe a footballer? Is Hurricane Marlon?
Sorry, I forgot about the question. I thought you were going to get somewhere else there.
Like a tornado, a lightning storm, I
think that's one for the comments.
A tsunami.
Yeah, without taking up too much of our time here.
Surging forward like a big body of water. One from John here before we move on to a different location. I think people need to realise that this is Morgan Rogers at his level. He'll get the odd assist, an odd goal, but he isn't that good. Last season was an anomaly. Last season was an anomaly.
No, he is good. I think John may be saying he's not that good in terms of that good in terms of what people are saying. Player. He can be. I don't doubt he can become that, and I still believe that. Just because he's had 5 games where he struggled to, deal with 2 opposition players on him. But then the better teams, shall I say, than Villa, they will realise, well, if you put Rodgers in that team, well, then you have for argument's sake, let's say Chelsea, you have Cole Palmer, you have Neto, you have Rodgers, you have so many other players to keep an eye on. You can't just glue to one man. I'm not saying Villa are a one-man team, but when we set up at the start of the season with Morgan Rogers, Emi Buendia and Gesson, who had literally just arrived, or John McGinn on the right wing, come on, it's pretty obvious where you need to focus your attention. So for that reason, I don't think that's what other teams will look at necessarily. But for us, we've seen how well he has played for England, and there's calls for him to play ahead of Bellingham. Which even last season I think would have been completely far-fetched. But now, for different reasons, I must say, that is a thing, and I wouldn't be I wouldn't say 1,000,000% that it's going to be a foregone conclusion that Bellingham just walks back into that team. So I don't know, I wouldn't be totally surprised. But just on the, I don't know, again, players going in and out of form since, a little bit of a stat here, if I can raise it for you, 1 second. Rodgers assisted more goals in 2025 than any other Premier League player at 9. So, Connie's doing something right. And that's, not all of those have obviously come last season. I think he's got 2 assists. So obviously the bulk last season, because we've only been playing for a couple of months.
It's funny how that's the anomaly. I can never say that word. It's funny that that's the outlier. 30 odd games where you produced, rather than the 5 or 6 games where you haven't. That's the outlier, because there isn't as many of them. The form that we've seen at Villa so far is that's the norm. The bulk of last season was the good bit. He's just off form a little bit now. Again,
we do this with players, though. We've raised them to such a high level that it's, oh my God, they're a world beater. Finally, like I say, finally, we found the not replacement Jack Grealish, but this is now the thing that we saw in Jack Grealish. It's a completely different thing. Like, give him time, let him have a breather. It's different. Interesting, because I don't know if Jack, for example, had just had his first year or 2 in the Villa team now, if that makes sense, he would have had games where he's, should we say, anonymous, and he's been kicked around and he can't get on the ball. But then look where he's gone. So Morgan Rodgers, again, completely different player, but the same in terms of teams will attract to them and try to stop them. That's why I'm not particularly worried. I think as long as he can overcome that, I think he will be fine. Again, we've seen it for England. That I think a large part of why he's struggling so much is not only because the attention he's receiving, but then as a result of that, he's overthinking things. His passing's been so poor for whatever reason. Again, overthinking, whatever it may be. But again, I keep saying he will always look for the ball. He'll always look to get involved. He's not going to hide, and that's something that I think we can all praise him for.
Do you think it's? Well, I was going to say, do you think it's possible? Of course it is. There's lots of football to be played. But do you think it's realistic to expect him to deliver the same kind of output that he did last year? To either match that or improve it?
Well, from the start he's had, I think most people would say no. But at the same time, I don't think this is a season where Rodgers scores 1 goal like Bailey. I wouldn't have thought. Again, he's already got 2 assists. He's assisted in his last 2 games. If he manages another assist against Spurs, then that'll be the first time he's had 3 assists in a row in the Premier League. It's not all bad. It's just when he does some of the basics wrong, that can be so frustrating.
Quick one here from Adam, so I know the answer is I don't know. Do we know what's happened to Andreas Garcia? He seemed to be promising last year, but not ever been in the last few squads. Not even been, in the last few squads. Is he injured or just out of favour? He's injured again, isn't he, I think?
Yeah, I think it's something to ask. Something we'll hopefully be able to ask you and I if there's not other pressing matters for the press conference.
Well, I'm more
on
interested
Friday.
in Ollie Watkins, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, he has been in training in different periods this season, so it's odd. Wasn't in the matchday squads, well, for the most part. In fact, has he only been in one matchday squad?
Which
was the European
Bologna game, was
it? Yeah, in the Bologna match, and he had trained in the lead up to that game.
Did he play?
No.
Is that he was just on the bench because the bench was bigger and there was never a chance of him playing anyway? Because then he's not on it again for the Premier League game 4 days later.
Yeah, it's certainly something that I'm going to try to ask you and I.
It is a bit weird.
But no, strange. I mean, obviously Sancho hasn't been in the squad as well. Unai says sickness. Was at the last 3 squads, I think. So, yeah, Barkley's now back.
Yeah,
of course. So yeah, it's been an odd one, I think, especially for 2 players. Not well, apart from Barkley came on, didn't he, against?
Yes. Yeah.
Was it Burnley?
Burnley.
I think. Seen very few minutes, obviously, from a personal issue. So, yeah. Garcia will endeavour to find out.
Ryan in Essex asks, a couple of seasons ago, Villa were one of the worst teams at defending set pieces. Then last season, one of the best. then decided to start conceding from the first shot on target every game instead. This year we seem much more sound defensively, but it seems like the set piece issue may be cropping up again, with 3 of the 7 goals we've conceded being from set pieces by my count, with 2 corners against Fulham and Burnley and a long throw against Palace. Do you think this will be a recurring issue throughout the season, or will Emery try to cut them out early? Well, obviously he'll try to, but whether he can is a different matter.
It's Austin's, it's his role, set pieces. Austin picked up an injury, didn't he?
Yeah, another one. Yeah, another injury.
yeah. It's funny because he obviously...
Is it funny, John?
Oh, no, not the injury, God. He's obviously worked with lots of different teams and players now, but to work with the Portuguese team, with the amount of set-piece specialists they have, and I don't include Ronaldo in that, by the way. I think he does a good job, McPhee, and although the defensive side is obviously something that there'll be different factors to it. I'm not going to speak too much into it now, because without knowing the different details to it, shall we say, I think it's something that you really have to analyse to have a opinion on it. Yeah. But if the base facts are so, then a little bit worrying. But here's a stat for you, Dan.
Go on, hit me.
25% of Villa's shots in the Premier League this season have all come from corner situations. So only West Ham have a higher percentage, which is 26%. West Ham.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I mean, I think part of me thinks that's probably not good. But then another part of me thinks it is, we are threatening, should we say, from corners. But then our open play, that is probably due in part to how poor we were at the start of the season in terms of chance creation. But interesting.
Okay, from Darren, John, the return of the silly question. I absolutely love these. I think we could do a whole
episode. We haven't had many, because we've moved to the mailbag.
Yeah, we haven't had some silly questions in the mailbag. I live for these. I'll do a whole episode of these. Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste?
Oh, easy shampoo.
Yeah,
that's easy. So if you say toothpaste, you're wrong.
It's a great question, but
that's an easy
answer.
It's a good question, but easy answer.
I actually think, and I don't want to get too far into this,
just shave.
Do
you need?
Yes.
I don't suppose you need. Do you?
You could just use soap. Couldn't
you need something.
Let me get Kendrick. Hold on.
You need something for your scalp, right?
Yeah, but I think soap would be enough. I think.
Do the job.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely could do a job. 100%. Soap could do a job. I'm certain of it. Put him in right back. He could do a job.
If anyone says toothpaste, you'll bang out of order.
I mean, I say toothpaste. What
did I say? Toothpaste.
Yeah.
Toothpaste,
I'd say.
I don't know.
I think that's where I'm from. Anyway, picking that is gross. There's no replacement for that. Like brushing your teeth with mouthwash or something would not be the same by any margin. Not washing your hair. I actually think there is research to suggest the natural oils in your hair.
Well, some people don't wash their hair, do they?
Would work
when you have
anyway.
the
dandruff. Yeah, I think the natural oils in your hair would clean itself over time. If you went cold turkey from shampoo forever, I think you'd be okay. But
should we ask Austin McPhee what you use?
I'd shave your head, use soap. That's a far better solution than never brushing your teeth again.
And toothpaste for toothpaste.
What?
Yeah, sorry, the way you said soap, I thought...
No.
Shave your head and then use soap for
shave your head and then brush your teeth with soap.
That could... There's something in that.
What, brushing your teeth with soap?
Or something else.
As a cleaning agent, you mean?
Oh! Nah, it wouldn't be so good. Something about using soap as toothpaste, but then toothpaste as...
shampoo?
But that's,
No, that's mental.
Yeah, but everyone would choose the easy answer there.
Yeah,
it needs to be something that's... but anyway.
Okay, well, that's the silly question for this week. I'm absolutely encouraging those who watch or listen to the Claret and Blue podcast, send us your questions in the mailbag. They are what this show is. But get us some silly ones in there. I want to do at least one every week. And I think we are approaching our 1000th episode. Or we might have already hit it, who knows. I want to do a batch of silly questions as like a part of a special. Get in touch in the mailbag if you want to contribute to the Claret Blue podcast. We'll be back on Wednesday morning with Claret and Brew, where we debated leaving Villa Park, which was a very interesting chat. Or not. And we'll also on Thursday evening be here for the Spurs fan zone as well. So if you want to get involved with that, mailbag link again. Put fan zone at the start potentially and share your thoughts, opinions and predictions about Spurs. John, thanks for joining me. Guess where we are in the comments, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.